30th Sunday in Ordinary Time reflection. My dear friends, humility. Humility is coming from the word humble. Humble is connected to human. Humility, human. Human is coming from the word stem where we use for soil. Humus. Humus, human, and humility. So, dust. We are created out of dust. Dust we shall return. Soil, dust, human, and humility. So, we are born to be humble. Humble is not meekness. Humble is not just be scared or timid. Humility is a God-given strength to obey, to be obedient to the Creator. Because He wants you to do things, because He wants you to say things. You simply do that. Humility. In humility we be obedient. So what happened? When Adam and Eve they were created, our great-grandfathers and mother, the evil one tempted them with pride. You can be the judge of right and wrong, tree of knowledge. So the greatest vice of all the vices is pride, but it's against humility. To be humble, you have to be very holy. You have to be connected properly if you want to be humble. So that's where a humble person's prayer in the first reading today, book of Sirach, says, it will pierce the clouds. It will reach the sky, heavens. So that's how God, the second person of the Trinity, Jesus became human. If you read Philippians chapter 2 verse 6, He humbled Himself, not just to be a human, rather to bear the cross, the most cruel kind of cross, death, out of obedience. So He humbled Himself. That's why His prayer became so powerful. And our beloved mother, she said, I'm the handmaid of God. That's how she became humble. So opposite of Eve, new Eve just became the handmaid of God. Opposite of Adam, who wanted to be a God, left divinity, we call that kenosis, and he came down to the world to be obedient. So this is the difference between divinity and humanity, my dear friends. So the prayer of a humble person is very strong, very powerful. It will reach him soon, powerfully. So that's exactly why we find in the gospel today a Pharisee and a tax collector. The difference between Pharisee and a tax collector. You have to be mindful, my dear friends. Tax collector is a sinner. Sin is never a blessing. God came to the world because of sin. Sin is not something you can turn a blind eye. You cannot haphazardly take things in sin. You have to eradicate it, uproot it. There's nothing blessed in sinfulness. But then what happened in sinfulness of that tax collector? His heart was broken, a broken heart. A sinner can justify his sin and go on saying that this is right. That's a curse. That the hell would devour him like anything. But then sin breaking his heart. If you have a broken heart, like the tax collector, beating his hand against the chest is a sign of repentance. He could not look up to God because he's a sinner. He said, Lord, forgive me. So this is a beautiful prayer. where you accept your iniquity, that I'm wrong, like the right side thief. How blessed he was to go to heaven the very first day of opening the gates of heaven. And he said, Lord, I'm a sinner. You remember me when you are in kingdom. That's repentance. That's repentance. So there's nothing blessed in sin. But then what happens in sin if you are broken? It's a beautiful state where you can reach God. God can do wonders with a broken-hearted person. Because if you read Psalm 51 verse 16, David, after sinning, lust, murderer, becoming a lust, before the adulteress and a murderer, he simply said, Lord, I have sinned. What pleases you is not holocaust or offering, rather broken heart. So he was broken. And also if you read Psalm 34 verse 18, he will never despise a broken heart. He's so close to a broken heart. That's how this tax collector's prayer was so strong. God never justified sin, but embraced the sinner, isn't it? So there we find how that prayer was powerful. Because Jesus wanted to learn a lesson, teach a lesson. To all the Pharisees, tax collectors, all the Pharisees, scribes and high priests, they thought they are right. That with this particular Pharisee went up to the mountain, went up to the temple. Prayer is coming up, climbing up. It's an elevated state where you can reach God. Speak to God. Moses climbed the mountain, Jesus climbed the mountain. So then he was boasting about himself. His prayer was a boasting, blowing his own trumpet, isn't it? So I'm giving tithes. I will fast. I'm not like this tax collector. So this is what happened in pride. You compare yourself with others and you despise others and you look up to yourself and you blow your own trumpet. God never wanted your own boasting. We are all little ones before Him. We are all dust before Him. How can I boast? Because without Him we are nothing, isn't it? So this Pharisee was boasting. His prayer was dull and empty. But then in the second reading, letter to Timothy, St. Paul is a Pharisee, isn't it? Pharisee is a separated one. They follow the law like anything. St. Paul is a Pharisee, the best student of Gamaliel. And he was humbled by God. He fell from the horseback and went to the dust. That pride was broken like anything. He was blind for 3 days. And God broke him. Pride was done with pain. And he was so powerful. That's how he saw. He said, I have run the race. I have fought my fight. Now I'm ready to go to heaven. He is a Pharisee who was broken. So what is beautiful is in your brokenness. Not in your sin, not in your pride, not anywhere else. In your brokenness. If you are broken because of your sin, be happy. But if you justify and cover your sin and you want to pretend whitewashed sepulchre, you pretend and you boast about yourself, remember, without God, you are nothing. With Him, you are everything. So what opened the door for the Lord to do that miracle in your life is humility. Be humble. You are human to be humble. So if you are humble, God will always be there. And your prayer would be really powerful in your humility. Think about it. Have a nice day. God bless you.